This is probably one of the most stressful times in business for me, and I don't want this to happen to you. I love this client, and if we didn't figure it out quickly, they were going to fire us. For context, this was Shopify during that rough patch. This was the store at the exact time where everything was going down, so I'll show you the kind of the months leading up to it. So here's March, even February, decent at this point, so 51,000. We started to move in the right direction, but ran into some issues. They were used to doing significantly more than this. We were doing $100,000, $120,000 months. April, still right there at that $70,000 month. This is where everything started to pile on. As you can see, the online store, now there's CommentSold here too, which we did tell them to get on, but CommentSold, different ball game. The online store was at $46,000, okay? So after paying for us and for ads, not very much money is made here. I'll show you real quickly what we did in May, and then we'll get into the rest of this video. So in May, we went from, in April, of $70,000 to $228,000 in 1 month. I'm gonna show you guys how we lost so big, how you can avoid it for yourself, how we rebounded so you can copy exactly what we did, and the exact strategies we used to help grow this brand and scale it to a much bigger brand than what it was when we first started. So this client started with us in October of 2022 after struggling with another agency who only did paid ads. Now, we have nothing against ad agencies who only do paid ads. However, they only see a very small piece of the puzzle. It is only a piece of the puzzle. It's an important one, but only a small piece. They finished 2022 barely over $1 million, and some of you guys may say,
"Well, great, that's awesome."
Well, the previous year they did 1.5 million, and they fell short of their goal by almost $1 million already. We were gonna do over 2 million. So in 2023, we started off with them, kind of their first full year, and we were kind of riding hot, honestly. We're doing well. When we were riding that Q4 wave, we had a lot of new customers, we had great offers, but early in 2023, we ran into the same problem we always do. Maybe you guys do as well, but I know we run into it a lot, which is creative fatigue. Our messaging was off and our offer. This brand was spiraling, and we could not figure out why, because any new creative refresh would have a huge spike, and then we quickly drop back down. Now, our biggest driver of revenue for this brand was Meta. We were spending a lot of money on Facebook and Instagram ads, and our frequency was going through the roof. So what is frequency? Frequency is the amount of time that somebody sees your ad, and the higher the frequency, especially for a top of the funnel or a brand new audience, the higher that frequency, it means typically that Facebook or Meta cannot find an audience or somebody who would resonate with the content, so it shows it to the same person over and over again, and it doesn't go outside of that sphere. Well, as you can guess, it's very difficult to grow when your frequency is going to the same person over and over again and they're still not buying. You have to go through your ad content or your creative a lot, and you really limit yourself on being able to reach a ton of people. Even if your cost to reach 1,000 people or your CPM is like $16, $17, which ours was, it still takes so much money to reach real people, new people outside of that sphere. And so that was one of our big issues that we had here, why frequency is so important. But after this, right, kind of retrospect, it came down to 3 main things on what was causing this huge drop for the brand. Ads were only built to go after a warm audience, so no wonder our frequency was going up, and it hurt our total reach and the chances of driving new traffic, as I just mentioned. The client was panicking and giving away the farm with discounts, so not only were we creating content for a warm audience, now our warm audience was getting a discount, so anytime we came up with new creative, it would basically fall flat on its face because it would show to the audience who already was trained to buy at a discount. Not a very good idea, don't do that. And they only purchased when it was a crazy good deal. We had to do big deals, right? So 30, 40, 50% off for random times of the year. Now, I would highly not suggest this. Maybe you've ran into this. Maybe you think the only way that you can sell a price point that's a little bit higher is by giving a discount. That's not the case. Now, when we took on this brand at the time, we were only 4 to 5 months into this. We didn't know completely that this was kind of how they grew the business. Fixing this problem took us 60 days, and you're like, wow, that's a long time. Yes, it was. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video, it's why I thought the client was gonna fire us, and I did not want to lose this brand because we were so into the weeds with it. I wanna share with you guys what we did to make this account rebound, exactly how you can do this too. But first, I just wanted to quickly say, hey, howdy, and hello. You're watching this video, hopefully because you're a clothing brand owner, and my name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and this is my business partner, Christian. I specialize in the marketing, advertising, that's what you're watching right now, and Christian specializes in the Shopify app, the technical side of the business. Now, we've been helping clothing brands scale for over 10 years now. We've helped over 250 of them in the last year alone, and if you are a clothing brand owner and have gotten any type of value at all, even just one thing, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our content. We drop 2 new videos at minimum every single week for you. Also, if you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you the greatest 90s rapper of all time. Okay, so we went back to the basics to get this brand off of the ground, and within a week, we were scaling again. So to be clear, for about 50 something days, we just continued to do the same thing over and over again. Yes, Einstein did say that was insanity. It was insanity. I can look back and tell you we were dumb. Don't worry, do not be like us. Learn from my mistakes. So the basics here, right? So research and customer avatar. If you get back to the basics, you will find out the answer. So the first thing you need to do is research. I'll write it up here so it's very clear for you, because you need to make sure that you spend the time on research. What do I mean by research? So here's a couple of places that I would go to do research. One, Google yourself. If you have not ever Googled yourself, do it. If you're an established brand, highly suggest to do it. If you're not an established brand, then still look yourself up. What does it look like online? Do you see yourself anywhere? No Facebook reviews, no Google reviews, no blog posts, nothing? Well, that's a great place to start. If you have not ever been in one of those things, that's a great place that you go to, right? That's fine. But if you are and you have been around, for example, this particular brand, great reviews on Google, horrible reviews on Facebook. Only 3 reviews, but they were like a 3.2 star because one person left them a 1-star review. You've got to spend time on your customer avatar. Now, when you do this research, you find out a little bit more about who your customer is, how you can serve them, and then you can start to create content for them. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit here in a second. Then we go through, all right, and if you've watched any of our videos before, you probably have seen this. There's basically 3 components to a very good brand who understands their offer and understands their messaging and understands their audience and how to speak directly to them. The first thing you have to do and have to understand is that a customer or somebody who would buy from you would never purchase if they don't realize they have a problem. We need to know what their actual desire is. So you take them through, okay? So you can see it here on this document actually. So there's a struggling avatar. So who is this person and who are they trying to become? Great example of this. If you are I was talking to a Christian clothing brand out of Oregon last week on the call. He's a log driver. Shout out to you if you're watching this video. So I was talking to him, and his brand has maybe 3 or 4 products, something like that. He's going after the Christian community, but a very specific subset of a Christian community within a very specific space within the Christian community. Now, if he doesn't know the problem, it's going to be very difficult to sell that shirt to somebody because nobody's going to understand who he's going after. They won't understand why they should purchase from him. They have no idea what makes him stand out from somebody else. He would go through this document here and find out, right, from his own journey who this is, right? So his core values, his identities, his past experience or knowing, his past struggles, and then you realize that the person starting this brand, this guy, is the person who is the actual struggling avatar. And then you want to talk about going through your journey, right? So your unique solution to your future pace hero. Let me explain this in a different way, and then we'll get into the actual offer side of things and go into the 3 steps of the avatar. Zig Ziglar, maybe you guys know who he is, maybe you don't. If you do not, please go look him up. He's an amazing speaker, or was an amazing speaker. A lot of people looked at him as like handsome. He's very wealthy. He's probably one of the best motivational speakers in the 20th century. And the very first thing that he would do is talk about his actual story, because everybody was like, oh, they're so far related or away from him, they could not relate to him. But then he talked about the fact that he was the 9th of 10 kids. He got his first job when he was 6 years old. His dad died when he was 5. He had a mom who raised him who had a 5th grade education. He went into, I believe, the military, I can't remember which branch, and failed out of it. He took a sales job, and for 2.5 years he didn't sell anything except for his, he sold his car and he sold his house. He never made any money until one particular day. And by that point, everybody was drawn into the story and said, oh, I can do that too. You have to start with a struggling avatar, because if you start there, it helps people resonate. So as a Christian clothing brand, he could have talked about his struggle or his testimony, okay? Then he offers his unique solution. What is it that makes you stand out? So what is it he offering, right? So we have this Christian clothing brand. His unique solution was his shirt to help people with a desire to spread the gospel or to spread his love for Christianity or for his mission, his message, okay? And then you have afterwards, right? So once you create your unique solution with your brand, you have your future pace hero. Now, the future pace hero is just a fancier way for us to say, what is life like afterwards? So we have a person who had a problem, you offered them a solution, their life is better, and you're able to convey that very clearly. So for our client, to bring this all back to square one, It's not just about flat lays. It's not just about doing a drop. It's not just about, spending money. I think people can get to $20,000 to $50,000 months for that. And you may be saying,
Great, I want to get there and I could just copy what other people are doing.
you can, but if you don't know the specifics about who you're talking to, very difficult. All right, the second thing that we did was we created an offer. Now, an offer does not mean a discount. I prefer value stacking. This is kind of where I've taken it from, and just over time I've gotten it from Russell Brunson, if you know who that is. Awesome. If you don't, go check him out. But value stacking is how can we offer something, and we have a little bit of a document too. And if you guys want the offer calculator, I'll tell you how you can get that here in a second. But basically, the offer calculator makes you put in your actual numbers of your brand, which we did have those numbers. We knew the cost of goods, and honestly, they had like 80% margins. So killer options, or killer margins rather. So we're able to put in their margins, then we're able to go in here and look at which offers would actually work. Now, can we do a discount? Can we do a deal? Can we do a buy a certain amount and get something for free? Can we do something where we give away a free product? 9 times out of 10, honestly, you can do a free product. So what we did is we did an offer with a discount. The discount was only for a small amount, but a huge value add for them. I believe at this point it was like a $139 product, and we did it for, I can't remember, it was like maybe 69 or something, okay? But it was only for first-time customers, so you're like, okay, great product. It was honestly the huge margin. We made a big margin on it. But then we did an offer on top of it, so we value stacked it. So it was $69 for this particular product, and then we offered free shipping, all right? And then we offered a free product with it as well. Now, our margins allow us to be able to make this work. Again, probably one of the most important numbers in your business is, do you have margin? We also at this point knew the lifetime value of our customer, or how much they would spend with us over time. Now, even after doing all of this, we still, after even our cost to acquire a customer, we were still making about 15 bucks. Still made about $15 from each one of these purchases. But what we did know is that they would come back on average, right? We got about 30-40% of them to come back, and they would spend another 100 to 150 with us, and we did that through email and SMS. Within that period, that's how we were able to start making that work. We were first purchase profitable. We started to see a net profit in the business covering everything. I think after each one of these, like even paying for our management and ads and literally everything, we still made about $6 or something. Make sure that the math makes sense for your business, because I don't want you to lose money on it. But you don't have to also give away the farm. I honestly told them, like, let's not do a big of a discount. Let's just do this for like 99. And then let's still offer these things, and I think it still would have done well, but they were a little scared, as you probably would have been as well. But it's fixed our main problem, okay? So we had an amazing offer. Without good content, right? If we kept seeing the same people, then that product offering back there wouldn't work. So what we did was we started to create content for each level of the funnel. What I mean by that is, so you have a top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. Top of the funnel, new audience. We'll just label it this way: new, warm, hot. With each one of these, I had to create different pieces of content. So for this one, this is kind of like entry level, entry to brand. Middle of the funnel, social proof. This is like reviews, UGC. The bottom of the funnel, this is the people who needed the call to action, plus maybe a percentage discount, or maybe a first time offer, or maybe free shipping. When we created this content, Meta is very good at what it does, and it will find the people within your funnel. So the people who are likely to take action from social proof, they're in that middle of the funnel. Top of the funnel, broad, going to the warmest audience, spending most of our time, we created the most amount of content. So about 70, 75, 20, 20, or sorry, 10, 15, and then like 5-ish. Okay, so let me show you inside of Ads Manager, and I'll show you exactly the setup that we had here to kind of break down this that I was mentioning right there. But first, hold up one second. I just want to say that if you're a clothing brand owner, you want to jump into the specifics of your brand, you're trying to grow, you're trying to scale, whether you're trying to do your first $1 million month or you're literally just starting out, we have a free 45-minute strategy session for you. You can schedule with us by checking out the link in the description down below. There are limited spots, as you can imagine, especially if you're in the fourth quarter right now and trying to make Black Friday, Cyber Monday work for you, or whatever time of the year it is. Schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots. Go check out the link in the description down below. Okay, so this was April of 2023. As you can see here, we were trying different options, okay? We were trying to do link clicks to get the frequency down. I'll show you the frequency here. was still kind of high. We're at a 4 across the board, 1.8 for some of these things, and we're just literally going for link clicks, trying to do something. Do not do that. Always go for purchases, okay? That's what I preach on this channel. If you've been watching for a while, you know this. Okay, so we spent our own money, not a lot, just going after link clicks, very small budget to do it, but we're like, we have got to try something. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again. So as you can see here, different Instagram posts, different ways to cross-sell, different ways to upsell. We're trying to figure out how can we make this work. Don't copy that. This was kind of testing out. We did a DPA, or dynamic product ad. We were spending $600 a day. 389 posts came from that. They were for $24, so extremely good there. We started to drop this down. So that was one fix here, is to just show the products that we had, let it learn, give it enough budget to make it learn. The other thing that we did is we did our dynamic creative testing, and I'll show you the actual purchase amount. We spent $5,000 up here on this one, and then $1,000 throughout on the others. Now for this one, we did broad. We did a broad dynamic creative. You cannot do it anymore. It's called flexible now. Hold another video on that one. It's kind of switched at this point. The ad was very straightforward. So there's 3 pieces of creative. I think we technically had 5 at the time. We had 1 winning piece of creative, a couple of images, a couple of videos, and we had $27 purchases here, hit $25,000, $5,000 in spend. That one did well. And one of the things that we did really, really well at this particular time is we started to make sure that we spread across our images and our videos. So before we did like 1 image and then like 2 videos, or 2 images and 1 video, or whatever it would be, whether we were mixing and matching, versus what we did after that point was we did all images, all the same sources. And I forgot to mention this earlier too, but if you wanted that offer calculator, just pulled it up right here, just comment the word calculator down below and I'll send it to you. But we also did this, which was our content scaling strategy. So this content scaling strategy breaks down by multiple things, but essentially what are the styles or concepts that we're gonna test? And so we started to go through headline example, and I'll show you an example of what a headline looks like. Different headlines, you can see here, it's basically a very high quality image with text on the screen. Happy to give this to you guys as well. The scaling strategy document, it's breaking down literally everything you need to do, selecting your focus, finding an offer, the creative concepts, implementation, and then basically what you need to do afterwards. How do you scale? Because you guys watched this far into the video, I know it's a little bit longer of a video, I'll share with you a couple of bonus tools and resources we used in addition to walking through this strategy. Now, this is the meat and potatoes of it here, right? But I always do like to reward people who watch this far into the video and just honestly test if it's working. So the other one is we went to retention.com. This was about a 6x return. So we spent anywhere between $400 to $500 a month on retention. I can't remember exactly, but it was making us a 6x return every single time we were using it. So highly suggest you use retention.com. There's, I think, some alternative options out there as well. We've just partnered with them and they've done really well. You can see from their case studies. Now, if you don't have 10,000 people to the site yet, probably doesn't make sense, but what does retention do? Anybody who adds to cart or initiates checkout but hasn't given you their email address, it allows you to capture that email address and to send them an email. Extremely powerful. And like I said, if you have 10,000 people to your homepage per month, this will add a good chunk of revenue to your brand. The other one we are using for customer service is called Dufy. They are based out of, I believe, like somewhere in Europe. So definitely go check them out. But basically, they are the customer service assistant. So think of them as your trained concierge. I don't know if you've ever been to like Abercrombie or Hollister or the Nike store. People, you walk into the store and people are asking like, hey, do you need some help? This is basically this. However, it's an upsell tool. I don't really claim it as a tool that's, you know, just always AI driven, but it's like, how can I use this to upsell and downsell? So you can see here kind of like a live conversation, what's happening. Do you have this size available? Yes, I do. Great. Is this the perfect size for me? What's cool about it though is that it can not only upsell or downsell, it'll tell you what matches well together, what items pair well together. It also works with Instagram DMs. So if you get a lot of DMs or questions there, you have an option for this as well. So Dufy. The other thing that we use, Klaviyo, email, and SMS. So Klaviyo, basically the gold standard for email and SMS. You can use some other ones that I do like but not love. Attentive, PostScript, OmniSend, they're all the two. We do like Klaviyo. and it does allow you to do email and SMS in the same spot. It's very easy to connect. I'm just more of a person who would rather simplify things and not have a bunch of different apps. So Retention, Dufy, and Klaviyo. Retention and Dufy we have links for down in the description below. Like I said, we do partner with them. We are partners with Klaviyo as well. I don't know if I have a link for them down below, but definitely, I'm sure you've heard of Klaviyo. All right, so let me draw out this funnel for you so you can see it visually. All right, so we had ad with an offer. Okay, we sent them to the website. They either purchased or they didn't. No matter what, we want to collect their email and SMS. And then after that point, we bombarded them with other emails and SMS, okay? Usually, this was about, I would say, 7 days that we were going back and forth. So if they took the ad and they took the offer, went to the website and purchased, we got their email and phone numbers, and then we emailed them a different series of emails. If they saw the ad, went to the website, joined the email and SMS list, but did not purchase, we sent them an email and SMS. Not SMS every day, email almost every single day, SMS, it was like twice that week to get them to make a purchase so that we could actually make this profitable. Email and SMS cost very little money, so I don't even mention the price here. It's like literally pennies on the dollar to send it out. If you do not add email and SMS to this, both, not just email, not just SMS, if you do not add both of these to it, it's very difficult to make this type of offer work, so you've got to put that in place. One other thing though, if you're scaling your clothing brand, and you're currently like print on demand right now, the next steps as you start to grow, you can go one of two routes. So you can do like the pre-made products, or you can use like a 3PL or a third-party logistics. You may love the print on demand model because you don't have to hold inventory, but your customer experience suffers. And then if you are doing pre-made, you may not want to hold all this inventory, so it's kind of like a balancing act. So as you grow out of print on demand, which I'm not opposed to, but I really like to take care of my customers. The 3PL option, I really like that one. If you just want to keep your inventory there, you'll give up a little bit of margin, but you get that headache out. It's just like print on demand, but it's handled somewhere else, and you control the logistics and the customer experience better. Pre-made, also love that as well, just because you can literally, if you have a problem with a customer, you can go over there, grab a shirt, literally pack it up, ship it out, you're good to go. And if you are a clothing brand, so this doesn't matter, right? If you're watching this, this particular part, right? Same thing, create a very good relationship with your manufacturer, whether you're a boutique or private label, streetwear, it doesn't matter. What I will tell you is that if you are looking for a 3PL or if you're looking for a print on demand, like alternative to have something pre-made, there's a link in the description down below. Go check out Redbird. We are partners with them, extremely helpful. They've been around for like 20 plus years. They're located here in the States, can vouch for those guys. So go check them out if that's where you're at right now. Okay, so now you know how to make money fast. It's time to do it consistently with paid traffic. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Go watch this video on Instagram ads and exactly how to set them up, exactly how to scale your brand right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., make sure you subscribe.